Greetings. Welcome to Martlet Games. I am Patrick Gill, your storyteller this evening for episode 2 of Psychopomps Incorporated. Before we begin, Vampire the Masquerade is a game of personal, political, and supernatural horror. This show will contain sensitive content up to and including physical and social violence, gaslighting, loss of character agency, and psychological harm. This show in particular focuses on the Hecata, and it goes without saying certain parts of the family also come with their own set of content warnings of a sexual nature, but we will not be spending our time dwelling in that area. We have discussed table consent and boundaries, and will be communicating in private channels for vibe checks or to pause and redirect a scene as necessary. If at any point in time you and the audience are feeling uncomfortable with what you are watching, please do not hesitate to step back or step away from the episode entirely. Brief recaps will be given at the beginning of every episode, and we will do our best to fill you in on the side as needed. And all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and let's introduce our wonderful vampires this evening, starting with Rosie.
Hi, I am Rosie, regular size mom, and tonight I am playing Celia Greenwood, the Samedi, fortune teller medium con woman.
Next up is Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am playing Cherubina Rossini, a Giovanni that brings all the funds so everybody can meet with dead people.
She's the sugar mama on the ghost train here. This is what
I can still see the dead, but whatever.
Right. No, she's got the hookup.
Yeah.
And finally, Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm going to be playing Nyx, the flesh eater, who has never done anything wrong in her unlife.
At least as we are currently keeping score anyway. Now, that being said, we are going to give our little brief recap here. The coterie is currently in Shreveport, Louisiana, working a job for a patron by the name of Opal Chapelwaith. Opal has requested the coterie's assistance with a particularly sensitive family matter in determining the actual cause of death of her previous husband. There was foul play suspected, and the estate is currently in limbo pending the determination of what exactly killed the dearly departed Mr. Chapelwaith. The coterie took it upon themselves to go and investigate the body of the aforementioned Mr. Chapelwaith, and ran across, we'll say, a distant relative of their current interest, who spilled the beans on some family drama. The coterie discovered Mr. Chapelwaith's body and determined the actual cause of death, and then returned the following night to the family estate. In the rain, just before midnight, the coterie entered the Chapelwaith residence, which the house, it bears repeating, is a mishmash of different architectural styles. The front facade and front portion of the house is, it was built during the Gilded Age in the 20s, and bears a lot of the old, some new Romanesque features. But then, as the family estate and resources grew, so did the house. And now the front is we'll say a certain esteemed veneer, while the back of the house is more modern monstrosity than anything else. But the coterie started playing their trade inside the manor, with Celia guiding Opal Chapelwaith to the parlor and making contact with something in the house through her vampiric psychic abilities, while Cherubina and Nyx were led off to the scene of the crime by Jared the butler, whereupon some little white lies were immediately brought to light. Nyx's extensive knowledge of how crime scenes usually look, maybe by first-hand experience, maybe, was able to easily determine that, yes, Mr. Chapelwaith was indeed murdered by a surprise attack, blunt strike to the back of the head, and that is kind of where we left everyone. Just to double check and make sure where everyone is currently at, Celia is in the parlor. She has, we'll say, just come out of her trance. And Cherubina and Nyx are still in the bathroom questioning Jared. We will begin with Celia just because of the... we need to resolve that cliffhanger. We will not be doing rouse checks, as this is the same night. Your willpower has also not refreshed, as we are currently in the moment. Just for point of clarification, what is everyone's hunger level right now?
The 1.
Okay.
Fun.
I was just trying to check that, and I don't think it's saved on my sheet.
I believe you...
I think I was at 2.
Yeah, and I know, Nyx got a little hungry in the previous session, but she...
I took care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Little graveyard nosh. Never hurt anyone.
Right.
Not anyone living, anyway.
Just so now everyone's on the mechanically same playing field here. Celia, you open your eyes. The words of the entity that you just made psychic contact with still filling your head. Get out. But you open your eyes. Maybe the parlor is a little more dim than what you remember. And you see that the planchette on your Ouija board is currently moving. Opal, her eyes are closed. You can see her eyelids fluttering just a little bit, but you can see that she's still breathing, as she seems to be really focused and intent on what she is doing. But the planchette is moving across the board. You see it's almost the same message on repeat. Get out. Kill them. Get out. Kill them. Your hands are still on the planchette. You don't feel anything unnatural currently manipulating the board.
So I had a premonition My hands are on the board, as are Opal's, but I don't feel anything manipulating the planchette.
At least as is right now, no.
Celia is going to ask, are we speaking with Reginald Chapelwaith?
Now, there it is. It's like... It feels like someone pulling a string taut in your fingers, almost, in your fingertips. Something is definitely present now. And the planchette moves over to the yes.
Reginald, thank you for joining us. Your wife, Opal, is hoping to communicate with you about the manner of your death and misses you greatly. Can you share with us, were you murdered?
You feel the planchette almost vibrate now underneath your fingers. The planchette drifts over to no, over to yes, over to no, over to yes, and then starts doing counterclockwise circles in the middle of the board.
Does Opal still have her eyes closed?
Yes. In fact, give me a wits and awareness. Or intelligence and insight. One of those two, whatever one is higher.
Two successes?
You're not entirely sure if Opal is entirely conscious right now. She's awake, or she's alive and breathing, but you're not entirely sure if she's all there right now upstairs.
Is she potentially in a trance?
Maybe. If you want to go ahead and do intelligence and occult and toss in your aspects, because I'm a nice person.
Oh, you are sweet.
I try.
It's a nice pool for me. Four successes?
You almost instinctively, because you do have sense the unseen as an aspects ability, which, correct? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So that is technically always on.
Yes.
Okay.
It's passive.
Yes. Now, with this here, though, now that you know to look for them, you see those veins. And one of them seems to have snaked its way out of what is clearly a new, relatively modern installation, like HVAC system. But it's curling up out of a vent in the floor, and it's snaking across. It curls up unseen, because of the plane of the table, and you see it curl up and it's wrapped around Opal's neck. It doesn't seem to be causing her any physical distress. And it doesn't seem to leave any sort of weight or presence on her clothing.
Perhaps that it's using her to communicate or a threat. Miss Chapelway? Your husband might be with us. Would you like to speak with him?
Her eyes flutter open. And when they do, the planchette stops moving. Yes, Reginald, dear, I miss you dearly, and I just need to know which one of the bastards killed you, my love. Give me... This is the 3 and the 3 and out here. I want you to give me a resolve and subterfuge, please.
4 successes?
You know a con when you see one. And now we're going to pivot over to Cherubina and Nyx. So the two of you have been speaking with Jared in the bathroom. He's maybe politely moved the conversation out into the hall. We'll say as far as where your relative location is from the parlor, you are 1 floor up, a little further in to the house. So we'll say even if you were to have something like heightened senses turned on, you wouldn't necessarily be able to hear what's going on in the parlor with Celia. Okay. Now, Jared, he's just kind of milling about in the hallway, just kind of looking up and down. I do have to say that I don't agree with Miss Chapelwaith indulging her extended family like she is here by inviting you, but I do have to say that if it brings some sort of resolution to this mess, that I am glad to be done with it, and so me and my employer can get on with our lives.
Well, we've rarely received complaints from clients. I'm sure that Celia is doing a wonderful job down there assisting Miss Chapelwaith. Just a moment ago, Jared.
Yes?
My sister here, Cherry, asked you what happened to Miss Chapelwaith's first husband. And I noticed a bit of hesitancy in you. Now, I understand that you do not necessarily believe in what we are doing, but if you truly wish for us to help Mrs. Chapelwaith move past this, it would help you greatly to tell us everything you know so we can be prepared for any eventuality.
Well, yes, I understand. Look, it's a family affair, and for what it's worth, it was her extended family that recommended you all come down here in the first place. There was someone in her extended family who recommended you all. And I don't know exactly why, but once they made the recommendation, that's all the rest of the family could bring up. And I think this is just undue, unnecessary rigmarole, and I am glad to be done with it once it's all settled.
Can I tell if he's lying about the family thing?
Yeah, if you want to go ahead. Intelligence and subterfuge.
Sure. Let's see. Intelligence, subterfuge. My specialty in subterfuge is impeccable lies. Can I use that here? The intent, to be completely upfront, the intent is that Nyx is very good at lying, but that could also be argued that means that she is also very good at telling when other people are lying.
I'll let you use it now.
Okay.
Go ahead. Because I'm trying to continue the kind and benevolent storyteller shtick.
That's one success.
That is one success. And as far as you know, he's telling the truth. It stands to reason that in a family like the Chapelwaiths, where there's a lot of interested parties and a lot of money, crazy shit can and will go down, and you never know what sort of bonkers things might pop out of the woodwork. So yeah, that's your impression of what he's been saying.
Okay. And I noticed that he very deftly avoided the question that I asked. So, Nyx will look over at Cherry to see if she has anything to add to that.
I mean, it would be most helpful to figure out what happened to the first husband. It might play into how the second husband passed away as well.
And let's see here.
I'm looking right at him. I really want to do that one thing.
By all means here. I mean, if there's a vampiric ability that you want to use to get this guy to talk, if there's something relevant.
I'm not facing Nyx right now, so I'm going to activate that one thing that I mentioned to you.
Okay. Yes.
Squint.
Let me look that up here real quick.
Squint.
Just a moment. I haven't gotten to play around with this power exactly myself. So this is another one of those wonderful little segments where you get to see just how we do things around here. And yes, just a second. Oh, that's gonna do what it needs. Well, that's not a dominate power per se, and it's not.
Not, but it's more to scare him.
Oh, okay. Oh, I gotcha. That's fine. I pick up what you're putting down. All right, give me a.
Hang on a minute. Let me find the dice that I need for this. That's a free power.
Yes, it is.
But it's still charisma plus presence versus wit and composure.
Yep.
Let's see here. Charisma plus presence. Where is my presence? Where is presence? Oh, that's one. Okay, let me pick the right dice out. The carders that I'm using for this. In my fancy Banu-Hukian dice box that I have.
Which is lovely.
It was done by, their name is Psy. I don't know what their user is. It Twisted Werewolf, I believe, on Twitter made it.
Yes.
I have to
Twisted
double-
Werewolf.
Yes.
Sky is awesome.
Yes. Oh. I got a 10 and a 7. So I got 3 successes.
2. Those are 2.
2?
2 successes. Yes, 10s only count for multiple in pairs.
Okay, so yeah, 2 successes.
Yes, 2 successes.
Yeah. You want to add in like intimidation with that?
I will let you roll one more die because you need to tie at least to be able to pull this off. He scored 3. I'll be nice once again.
Nope.
Okay, so you dip into that little part of you that isn't necessarily 100% Cherubina. And you feel the physical change in your eyes as they turn into slits, and you lock eyes with him. And you feel your power caress him, try to get into that part of him that will instill fear and lock him in place, but you feel it just drift off impotently. He does, however, see what you've done.
I'll eat him later.
All right. Well, we're playing. We're done. We're done dancing the dance, are we?
Huh?
What?
Oh, nothing. It's just that your associate here is, she might have overextended herself a little bit.
Yes, I do. I feel a little faint. I think I need to lay down.
But needless to say, yes, I know you are vampires. And yes, I know that you are supposedly some of the best at what you do, and that is why I am continuing to go along with this.
I'm sorry, do you mean to say that you believe vampires are real, but you think that this is a waste of time? That's a very odd... I'm not sure what the word for it is.
Delusion.
Delusion?
Yes, but... No, I know of what your particular family is capable of doing. When I was talking about Miss Chapelwaith's extended family, I was referring to someone by the name of Deborah Milliner. You all would need to be making... Celia, of course, cannot... She's not privy to this information, but Cherubina and Nyx, definitely you will want to roll some intelligence and occult, please.
Okay, hang on a minute. Intelligence 2, occult that. Okay. That is... balance that on there. Ooh, there's a 10. No. Make that as loud as possible. 2 10s.
4 successes.
4 successes.
And,
is that right?
Yep. Oh, yep. That's a crit for Cherubina, actually.
Because that's 5. I missed whatever that roll was. So, out of 5 dices, I got a 3, a 2, and then a 1, and then 2 10s.
Okay. Were either of those 10s on your hunger dice?
Oh, was I supposed to roll hunger dice?
Yes.
Okay. So I have to roll 6 dice then?
Well, you include, you're at hunger 1.
Yeah.
So if you've got, what's your total pool?
5.
5? Okay, so you would roll 4 normal dice and then 1 hunger dice.
Let's just say one of the ones was my hunger dice.
That'll work. I'll give you the clean crit. Okay,
Yeah.
just because it works for plot too.
Mm-hmm.
So Cherubina, yeah, Deborah Milliner, she's a fucking lick. You know her. She's some 12th generation wannabe revolutionary that managed to ride someone's coattails to not get caught up in a purge within the family. She's old money. Now that you know that there's a milliner involved, this situation has gotten a lot less clean than what you were suspecting. Nix, you know that the milliners are indeed one of the family lines that have branched off, or that were, we'll say, brought into the fold within the Giovanni.
That bitch.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't like her.
The milliners are they were rivals of the Kennedys. For those of you needing some info at home, so yes, we'll say in the grand scheme of vampires, the milliners are new money. And yeah, Nix, you don't have the full context that Cherubina does, but you know that there's Hecata involvement somewhere in this. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You basically hear me say, "Ugh, that bitch," and then like a fake Scottish brogue.
Well, okay. So now that that's out of the way, I cannot personally say one way or the other how Miss Chapelwaith's first husband died. That being said, I also suspect that he was murdered.
That's what he said.
Yeah, since all the cards are out on the table, we did speak with Rex a little bit.
He really thinks Opal killed him.
Looks at Cherry.
What? He thinks he was murdered, and so that was we're gonna talk to him.
When I
He
said
might
all
get more
cards on the
information.
table-
What?
When I said all cards on the table, I didn't quite mean all of them.
Oh, all of them are on the table now.
Well, they sure are.
This is how it's gonna go.
And Jared there, I suppose that sooner or later everything, the chickens must come home to roost. But yes, no, I do suspect that Opal killed him.
Oh.
I can.
You suspect that then?
I do not have any evidence one way or the other. But that is what I suspect.
Do you suspect that she killed Mr. Reginald?
That I'm not sure on. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. Okay.
And so now we will. He's going to recommend that you go check in on Celia.
Yep.
And lead you all back to the parlor.
Yes.
So that conversation was ongoing while Celia was mid-trance. The wonderful thing about Premonition is it can last as long as I want in-game. And then the tail end of that conversation, let's see here. So we'll say that Celia will have a few more moments of time alone with Opal before Nix and Cherubina will rejoin. So you see Opal has taken her hands off the planchette. once she had kind of snapped out of whatever it was that was going on, that was it. You don't necessarily see the vein uncoil from around her neck and slither back into the HVAC, but you can feel it. The presence in the room feels lighter. The lights are less dim. Cherubina and Nyx would actually, at this point in time, like, all of the lights in the house would flicker. But they would just flicker ever so briefly and then come back on. But otherwise, no other electrical disturbance.
Storyteller.
Yes.
You had said that Celia recognizes a con when she sees one. Can you expand?
Celia is certain that Opal may or may not be 100% aware of her activities of all hours of the day. And there's some active lying being done on Opal's part. There's some lying by omission that's being done on Opal's part. You know that whatever is going on here, Opal is not the one who's ultimately responsible for whatever is currently going down. She may be connected. You're not entirely sure yet, but Opal almost seems to sense that the jig is up as well. And whatever legitimate spiritual or supernatural experience that she may have been feeling during the trance is gone. But it's replaced with a sense of knowing now.
Celia gives her a conspiratory smile and leans in and says, "Have you been having blackouts, or are you missing parts of your time?"
And when you say those words, you almost feel like a weight visibly like remove itself from Opal's body, and she kind of just yes, dear, yes. I don't know what entirely is going on. But I know that there is something not right with me and this house, dear.
When was the last time you left the grounds?
Oddly enough, I can't remember. I honestly can't. Not even for the funerals. We had when my husband's died, we had the services here, and I left the rest of the family to take care of the rest of the arrangements.
Perhaps it's time we went for a walk.
I do think that is not that bad of an idea. And this is when Nyx and Cherubina will rejoin. Jared knocks on the parlor door. Opal looks up and says, "Yes, you can come in now." And Jared opens the door and gestures for Nyx and Cherubina to enter the room.
Nyx looks up at Jared and says in a low voice, just so we are all on the same page, is Mrs. Chapelwaith also aware? Just to be clear about everything.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. That is helpful. Thank you, Jared. And Nyx will walk through.
I will follow Nyx in.
Yeah. Opal looks up at the two of you and then looks back to Celia. Oh, the band is back together again, I see. Yes. So were there any spooks, ghosts, specters around the house when we were talking with my dear husband?
No. Everything was clean as a whistle. I'm very happy to report.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear. I don't know what I would have done if something bad would have happened to either of you while Ms. Greenwood was doing what she was doing.
Oh, don't worry. We can handle ourselves.
Yes. How about the two of you? How have things been progressing? We noticed a bit of a disturbance as we were making our way back here.
We did make contact briefly, and I was suggesting to Miss Chapelwaith that we go for a short walk before we try again.
You mean a walk in the house or outside?
Outside. Miss Chapelwaith cannot quite remember the last time she left. I thought it might do good for her.
Sounds like a good idea.
Mm. And well, it is actually it does sound like the storm has let up quite a bit. It might still be a light rain, but Jared, go fetch my umbrella, and we will all go for a stroll outside. That sounds like a wonderful evening. Yes.
Out of character question real
Yes.
quick. I remember that Cherry used the binding fetter last session.
Yes,
to
there was
find
something in the
basement.
basement.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She told us that, right? She shared that information?
Yeah, I shared it with you all. I was like,
Okay.
I go, there's something in the basement.
That's what I wanted to make sure of.
I believe I said that. If not, we'll find out. I think I said that. I did not make a note of it, so.
I mean,
Well,
I
then,
just remember.
Out of character, do you guys want to look at that while I try to see if anything happens while I take Miss Chat? I'm kind of expecting something awful to happen.
That's what I was thinking. I was my plan was for Nyx to sneak away as everyone went outside and Jared went to get the umbrella and try to find the basement.
I'll come with Celia. Do you want me to come with? Would you want Cherry to come with Nyx, or does Nyx want to go by herself?
In my experience, sneaking is a lot easier when it's just you.
Mm-hmm. So I'll go with Celia then on this walk.
Okay.
I like to think this entire conversation is kind of like eye movements, shrugs. We've been doing this a while.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
At a
There's
certain point, you don't even have to speak.
Nah.
there's the assumed role that everyone always. Yep. A well-oiled machine.
I actually. Does anyone, just out of curiosity, does anyone else have points in stealth?
I have 1 point in stealth, and I also have a out of clan
I have one.
Okay.
Okay.
So I do have the most points in stealth at 2. That's good to know.
Yeah, we're doing great. We're so stealthy.
Oh, there's gonna be a rouse chat coming up. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well, hey, when all you do is sneak around cemeteries and dead shit, you don't need to be all that quiet.
You're right. Very right.
So
people don't like cemeteries to begin with.
exactly.
I don't know why, because in the 1800s, people used to have picnics at cemeteries.
Yes, that's why you see a lot of we're gonna have a little out of game like trivia section here. That's why you see a lot of in older cemeteries. You see a lot of headstones that are set up like park benches.
Mm-hmm.
They would all the extended family would all gather at the family plot and sit on great grandpa's headstone and have lunch.
I think that's rather
I think we should bring that
sweet.
back.
It is.
We should bring that back.
I hope everyone's taking notes. There's going to be a quiz during the break.
Yes. So, no, hey, we're dealing in the Hecata. We're going to get off into weird tangents at times. We're talking about dead shit. It's going to happen. So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to split the party again. We're all good in the hood. This is no problem with me. So let's go ahead and I'm going to have... Nix, I'm going to have you do a 3 and out real quick, okay? First, you're going to have to do a Dex and Stealth to see how well you sneak away from the group.
Okay. I'm going to rouse the blood to add 2 dice to this roll. That is a pass, so I do not get hungrier.
Okay.
Which is great. So it's 2 for dexterity, 2 for stealth, and then plus 2 more. Sheesh. 2 successes.
Okay, 2 successes.
Oh, actually,
You want to spend a willpower?
yeah, I'll spend a willpower.
Okay.
That lets me reroll 3, correct?
Yep. Any 3 failed normal dice.
Right, not the hunger die.
Yes.
Okay, that gives me 2 more successes. So 4 successes total.
Okay. So, as we've previously discussed, the group has their own patterns, their own ways of doing things, their own different. We'll call them planned social maneuvers. And Nick's just unspoken. It's my turn to go sneak around while everyone else runs a smokescreen. And you do it well enough, as Celia and Cherry are kind of leading the way, as Miss Chapelwaith is on Jared's arm. He hasn't undone the umbrella yet. He's that superstitious. He will not open the umbrella inside. Nix, you find the perfect opportunity to distance yourself. They're walking down a hallway. You dip into an alcove, and they turn a corner, and they're gone. And you've successfully broken away from the group. Now comes the fun part of trying to navigate the house. I'm going to let you do either a resolve and investigation or a wits and survival, whichever one of those 2 is higher. I know survival's more of an outdoor skill, but this is more of a, oh shit, how do I get there again, sort of moment.
I don't have any points in survival, so resolve and investigation it is.
Okay.
That's 5 dice. It's not terrible. Hey, that's pretty good. 4 successes.
Okay. All right. Old houses like this. You've been around the block a few times in places like this, doing jobs just like this, maybe not with as many complications, and a lot more just straight up theft. But you know that these older houses in Louisiana, this place probably doesn't have an actual basement. It's got a root cellar, more than likely, that would have been kind of built into or attached somehow to the kitchen. And that is where you go. You start finding your way there. You actually there's still people alive in this house. They still eat every once in a while. Okay, yeah, there's definitely the kitchens over here. Hey, it's Louisiana. They cook a lot of spicy food, You find the kitchen. It's unoccupied. And sure enough, okay, there's the door. All right. One last thing here. This door's been this door has we'll say been recently added to the or upgraded. We'll say this isn't the old sturdy oak doors that match the rest of the architecture in the house. This thing, it's plated steel.
Well, that's not suspicious at all.
No, not at all. Yes. And you bet that it is locked. How are you going to get this thing open?
Oh, I desperately want to use Aura of Decay, but that's going to cause a lot of other problems, especially in the kitchen.
You can't fireball your way into this lock shop.
No. I mean, I could. It's just a really bad idea. Do I see a mechanism for the lock anywhere? Like, do I see, what sort of... what would be needed to unlock it?
Bolt cutters. This was something that, someone, they didn't go to Walmart and grab something off the shelf. They went to an actual, locksmith and had this thing, you're going to need bolt cutters and maybe a dot or two of potence or a lot of time on your hands. One of the two.
I'm being aggressively bullied in the chat.
No, bullied, encouraged. I am enabling your potentially bad decision that I think will work out because I believe in you.
You know what? We have established that Nyx is not a patient woman. And that sounds like a lot of work. So yeah, let's Aura of Decay this door.
Okay. All right. I actually have to double check one thing because I kind of glossed over this power the last session, and
I think
Aura of Decay the lock.
So the thing is, and the thing I forgot is that Aura of Decay isn't focused on something. It's
it's an area effect.
Yeah, it's 5 yards / meters, which are yards and meters the same length?
No.
I don't know why it says it like that, unless I copy-pasted it incorrectly.
All right, now let's take a look here. Okay, affecting the world around them, making plants wilt, animals and humans grow sick, and food go bad. So yeah, we probably, I had you, we'll say we Supermaned that door probably a little too hardcore in the first session with the power. Hold on a second. Unintelligent,
but it was
organic,
so cool.
Okay. Here we are. This is relevant. Unintelligent, organic, and inorganic material within 5 yards of them suffers. Plants turn black and die. Food rots in its packaging, and even bricks start crumbling. Oh no, you can. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it definitely can work. It's just going to affect a lot of other stuff.
Yes, this kitchen this is not a subtle power.
No.
Yeah.
This is fireballing your way into the lock shop.
Yeah, a little
Hakata
bit.
style.
Look, we're Hakata. The butler already knows we're kindred.
He'll explain
I'm
it.
fairly certain that Mrs. Chapelwaith knows we are too. And honestly, if it becomes a problem, we can just eat her.
Okay, you want to do it? All right.
I'll do it.
All right, make your rouse check.
Well, we're off to a bad start, but that's fine. I'm getting a little hungrier. No, I can't mark it.
Flesh. Eat flesh. Your teeth are prominently out.
Sorry, there's a glitch in my sheet that's letting me not mark 2 hunger, so I'm going to mark it a weird way.
You're fine,
and
I
that's
gotcha.
going to have to be fine. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
It'll instead be 2 white dots instead of 2 black dots.
That works. Stamina and oblivion, please.
Yes, and there is a -2 difficulty, if I remember correctly, because of the shroud.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. It's oblivion, and what was the other one?
Stamina.
Stamina. Thank you. All right. I'm sure this will be fine.
Yep.
Hey, that's not terrible. 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 successes? Okay. Your teeth actually bite into your tongue to draw the vitae necessary forth to use this again so soon. This is something that takes a lot out of you. But you feel the blood well up in your mouth, and you just let it drool out and down. It touches the floor and starts to spread like an oil slick. And the kitchen at this point in time around you is completely and utterly destroyed. The wooden frame that the door sits in crumbles to dust. That's a stainless steel door, and it still tarnishes. It still gets little flecks of rust on it, on the edges. And then it too eventually turns to rust. The smell of instantly spoiled food, rotten milk, if you bother to breathe, just fills the room. You now can go downstairs. And
Nyx does breathe. I think she takes a deep breath as this happens.
just to savor the flavor.
Yes.
And now we've done your 3 and out. We'll pivot over to Cherubina and Celia escorting Mrs. Chapelwaith outside of the house. So, the bulk of the storm outside has passed. There's still the occasional flash of lightning off in the distance, the of thunder. You step outside. Jared pops open the umbrella. He offers his arm to Mrs. Chapelwaith dutifully, who takes it. They cross the threshold, and if Celia was expecting something to happen, it doesn't.
Ah.
She crosses the threshold just fine. And she's grabbed a shawl. I mean, it's, the beginning of fall, Louisiana. It's still muggy as shit. It's still hot. It's still warm this time of year. But she's still, she's getting up there. She still bundles. Yep, she bundles up with her little crocheted shawl. And Jared is escorting her around the grounds. As I said before, there was like a crushed gravel path that leads from the street up to the front step. But he asks Mrs. Chapelwaith where she recommends going. She goes, "Well, the garden, of course." And he nods silently. Yes, go ahead.
Turn on Sense the Unseen.
Yep. It's we'll say it's a passive ability. If you want to actively use it, go ahead and do the active ping as listed in the book.
Yes. As by the way, Cass that is watching, I wrote it down wrong as Unseen Presence, which is an obfuscate power.
This happens. A lot.
It happens.
A lot.
I was like, what? That's like looking at my character sheet. I'm like, that's not a power, an aspect power. I did write this down wrong. So yes, I'm gonna hang on. I gotta bring it up on my book here.
Yeah, you're fine.
Wits plus aspects or resolve plus aspects. Okay.
Do wits.
Wits. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me.
Wits. You know what? Wits or resolve, whatever's higher.
Wits is higher.
Okay.
And then one of these is my
Hunger dice. Yes.
hunger dice, which I did pick my hunger dice. So.
There you go.
Ugh. Oh, good. That was a 10. That was a 2. So I got. My hunger dice was not a 1, so that's good.
Okay.
But I got a 10 and an 8, so I got 2 successes.
Okay. All right. So 2 successes. You don't know to look for the veins there. That's something that we'll say is actively being concealed by the shroud, and it's one of those things, if you don't know to look for it, you're not going to spot it. But you do get the sense that there is an ominous presence about the house. It clings actually to the house like red or like gray, like gauze almost. You can still see the house underneath. But it pulsates and throbs, and occasionally little wisps flit off into the night sky. It doesn't seem impacted by the rain at all. Occasionally one might flip over towards your direction, but it doesn't seem to really be, we'll say, actively chasing after you.
I'm just gonna leave it on while we walk.
Yep. No Nosferatu that you can see hanging about. Oddly enough, for a building as old as this is, the weird architecture, since you can see it in the spirit world now, it oddly looks like you're finally seeing the complete part of the picture, because you see an older part of the house that wasn't there. That isn't currently there. But it's very, very fuzzy, very, very faint. But you get the hint that there's something there. And now that you see the complete picture, the architecture kind of makes sense in a weird way.
I'm gonna, as we're walking, I'm going to walk beside Opal and be like, I've got a sense of the layout of your, like, the land and the feelings of the grounds. Was there at one point an older part of the house that is no longer here?
And she kind of stops just outside the edge of the garden, and she looks up at Jared. It's the family doesn't like talking about it. We're in the South. You do the math.
Yep, I have done the math. I know exactly what it is.
But I can assure you that the family's done as much as it can.
It looks good for removing that part of the house. As I look back and just do the whole close my eyes and be extra with it.
Gotcha. and maybe you kind of getting maybe you toss in a little bit of the land feels settled.
Yes, the land feels settled. Exactly.
And you know for a fact it fucking is not. I
kind of look around Opal at Celia and just kind of make a face.
But they proceed into the garden. You can tell that at one point in time, this garden might have maybe been on the cover of a few magazines. Maybe of a both historic and scientific nature. You can see though that the garden's glory days have long since passed. There's old sections that have just turned to overgrowth. Some of the original cultivated plants are blending into the natural vegetation that one would find in the area. But she sits down after Jared takes a little handkerchief and does his best to mop up whatever residual water's on the bench. So, yeah, I mean, I do get outside, dear. I don't get out near as often as what I should.
Well, thank you for indulging me nonetheless. It is such a lovely night.
It is. It's always nice feeling the air after a thunderstorm. It's that sense of cleansing that the air has. It's wonderful.
Catharsis.
Yes, that's a great word for it, dear. Yes.
The smell of the wet earth. I can't remember what that term is. What is that? It's a term of this wet earth mixed in that everybody likes after a thunderstorm. This is out of character.
There's something. I just don't remember what it is.
It's petrichor.
Yeah, petrichor. There we go.
Thank you, Dr. Who.
Yes, thank you, Doctor.
What conversational thread are you all wanting to pluck on here before we go to intermission?
I am considering doing something.
Wow.
I want to run by the group because it's going to be a little obvious. I'm considering using fatal...
Wrong tube, I'm sorry.
You're okay. I'm considering using fatal precognition on Opal because at this point I'm wondering how she's going to die. Because of my morbid curiosity, and really I'm wondering if the house is going to kill her. But if I do that, I've done this before, it puts on a great show. I could definitely pretend to be doing something else, asking another question while I do it, but just how do folks feel about that?
I just melted a kitchen. I'm fine with it.
I just found out what the other part of the house used to be, and I'm just like,
All right.
Yeah, maybe the house should kill her, you know? Who are we to judge?
But, all right. Give me a second here.
I am also looking at Fatal Precognition if you wanted to give me a page number too, please.
205
Thank you.
of the PDF, so it's probably around there in the physical book.
It should be the same, yeah. If you're going off of the written page number on the bottom of the page, yeah, it'll be 205. Okay, yep. Or no, 204 technically. Okay. All right. All right, so fatal precognition allows a vampire to scry any non-vampire and experience a vision of their impending death, whether it's due a minute from now or several decades away. The kindred's eyes turn black, and they stand, sit, or lie completely still as the fate plays out in their mind. Fate can, of course, be cheated, though there is a cost for doing so. Let's see here. Vampire must be able to see or hear their target. After rolling Resolve in Oblivion, difficulty 3 or more at ST's discretion, the vampire becomes paralyzed in place. Let's see here. The higher the margin, the clearer the vision. So you'd have to roll. Let's see here. It's difficulty 3, so you would have to, hit 3, and then for every success above that, that's when you get more information. So
Okay.
this is a pretty dramatic ability.
It is very dramatic. Nix, you have a thought?
Is fatal precognition oblivion?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so you still get
difficulty
-2 to it.
1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
cool.
Yes.
Yay! All right. Well, I'm still going to blood surge.
Okay.
Oh, I get hungrier, so I'm now at 3 hunger. Which is exactly what I want to do right now. Yeah.
Mon cher. Drinking again. Let us go do that the next time we are in town, no?
Okay. Ignoring that, Celia is going to take Opal's hands and say, "You have been so kind to us. Your home has many stories, and something was trying to reach out to us. Your husband reached us, but I do believe something else did too. I would like to do something a little more free-form here, if you don't mind, just sitting with me for a moment and holding my hands."
Charisma and persuasion, please. You spooked her a little bit, mentioning the other entity, because maybe in the back of her head she suspects that there's something going on, and she's not one.
So, I hope she suspects something. Well, that's 5 successes.
Ooh, she only scored 2. So she almost... it's... The words coming out of your mouth are like honey. And... Oh, dear, I would... Yes, I do fear for my life, dear. And I've been telling this to Jared ever since last April.
What happened last April?
Now, there was a death in the family. Not here, but a tragic one. And I swear that the place just has not felt the same for almost... Gosh, it's almost been over a decade now. The house has felt different. And I need to be done with this. I do. So do whatever you need to do. And she lets you take her hands. And go ahead, you've made your rouse.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, and it's resolve and oblivion
Yep.
with an extra 2 days.
Well, it's not. Well, you've got 2 extra for. Well, it's -2 difficulty for the.
No, but I rouse.
Oh, that's right. Yes, I'm sorry. Duh. My good. Continue.
All right, cool. Want to make sure I'm not cheating anything.
No. Say, Pat, stop being a spaz.
I'm gonna spend a willpower.
Okay.
Four successes.
Okay, and a marginal 1, or I mean the bar was 1, so that's that's a pretty big margin there. Okay, hold on a second. Okay.
Too late, but maybe I should have just used my cards. Oh well.
Okay, so as you hear the voice of your sire in your head, you feel the Lua start to work through you. This is the part of the job that you really like, communing with the spirits, letting them be a part of you as much as you are a part of them. The practitioners of Vodun call it being ridden, but the Lua whisper in your head, she's going to die soon. And then you feel your body go stiff. And you see the image clearly. The veil is very thin here. The Lua are in a good mood tonight. They grant you the information that you seek, and then some. You see Opal. She's in a dark room. It's bare stone. You get the sense of old dust, old air, old wood. But it's very dark, very cold. And you see Opal laying on the floor. A axe, an old axe, sitting on the ground next to her. And you get the sense of there's another body there, but you're not worried about them. You're worried about Opal, and the Lua aren't going to tell you what you haven't asked. It's kind of a monkey's paw thing. But you see that she has been stabbed multiple times. But that isn't how she died. What actually killed her was when the red vein that had attached itself to her neck had left. That is what killed her. That is what's going to kill her. And then your vision comes back. Maybe you're gripping Opal's hands just a little too tight. Not enough to hurt, but she gets the sense of unease about you.
For clarification, storyteller,
Yes.
do you mean when the vein recently left her neck, or another time?
Another time.
Another time.
Mm-hmm. And you, if you were to look, you know that there is currently not a vein around her neck.
What Celia is going to say next is more for the spirits that assisted her, but she is going to phrase it in such a way that it will make some vague sense to Opal. Thank you for this gift. You've been most helpful.
Anything the matter, dear? Your hands are like ice.
Oh, it's just something that happens. But I fear for you. And do you believe in fate?
Not particularly. I'm a Presbyterian, if that matters.
Well, that's about as much as may be. The fate, as I perceive it, is mutable. And what I have seen could change, but it does very much concern you.
But can you see the future, dear?
In some ways, not always clearly. I would, for the time being, suggest that you perhaps not return to the house.
And that is where we will take our intermission. All right, so we will all be back in about 5 minutes. I hope you all are enjoying what we are presenting you so far. Go take a bio break, hydrate, do what you need to do. We'll be back waiting for you. All right, welcome back. So Celia and Cherubina have been working their mark, so to speak, out in the garden. Meanwhile, Zoe back inside the house has taken it upon herself to, as the younglings would say, go sick house in the kitchen. And used the kindred equivalent of the fireball to get into the locked shop, and used Aura of Decay to get through a very sturdy and firm steel security door, which was very out of place in this kitchen. As she... Yes, I'm that old. I'm looking at the Zoom chat.
I was like, I've never heard that before. I don't think kids are... I'm not that in tune with kids.
The kids these days, this is an Urban Dictionary entry from 2004. Yeah, I just dated myself. Anyways, thank you. I love that. And I'm keeping this in. Fuck it. So the door is gone, as is a good chunk of the wall that the door was built into, as is a good chunk of the we'll say recently installed concrete steps that I mean, you're no construction worker, but it stands to reason that this was probably poured within the past couple of decades. And you do see where, the concrete has kind of devolved into its base components, and then from there, from concrete to rock, from rock to dust. But now that the new construction is gone, you actually see the old remnants of the previous build. The old, very firm looking oak and stone stairway, which even now, the surface layer of the concrete took the brunt of the aura of decay that that Nyx let loose. you can still, we'll say, relatively safely go down the steps without requiring any kind of roll. But you go down, your feet touch the concrete, and the cheap little wooden banister that was installed. You're down in the basement proper. This is more of an old shelf style basement, and it's more of a over-glorified crawl space. You can move about down here with relative ease as long as you don't mind crawling. Okay.
That's fine. Nyx will crawl. Nyx also, as she starts to walk down the steps, will activate the binding fetter herself.
Okay. Which is free. And let me see here. There's no ability roll either. This is just, yep, like I said, yep, the little boop. That was the artistic choice that we went with in the previous. Overqualified crawl space is what is at the lake house little cabin. Yeah. And actually, I would think cabin in the woods, except maybe like, for those of you who have seen the movie. But yeah, the old shelf style, that's where, there's no cinder block. It's just earth with plaster over it. But the Zoom chat's just popping off, and I love it. Thank you, ladies. But you close your eyes, and down here, if the veil was thin up above, down here it's perilously close to breaking. You get almost a dissonant tone in your head, almost a shriek, as your finger touches the veil to send forth the energy needed to find the fetter. And the air gets thicker. The walls almost seem to be closing in on you. It's really dark. And there it is. You just get a very faint white glow in the dark. Off opposite end of the room. Whatever quarry you seek is there.
Nyx is going to very carefully, not because she's scared necessarily of what's happening around her, more that she's worried that the ground might crumble out from beneath her or above her after what she did to get in here. She's going to very carefully make her way over towards the fetter.
Okay.
It's for people at home, the binding fetter comes with the fun disadvantage of having -2 penalty to all awareness, wit, and resolve rolls. So it is just tunnel vision as she's like slowly crawling towards this thing.
And it's all you can do. It's almost like you are crawling through the abyss itself. And this is, as much as your clan enjoys the relationship that it does with the abyss, you get the sense that you are not welcome here. And you feel your teeth bare themselves in defiance, maybe. In order to continue pressing forward, I'm going to need you to make a stamina and athletics, please.
Okay. I am very bad at that. Oh, should I rouse the blood? I'm already at 2 hunger. But I also only have 3 dice. Yeah, we're gonna rouse the blood. This is important. Hey, that's a success.
Okay.
Easy peasy. Oh, one of those went flying off my dice tray. That was a 6, though, so that's 1. Oh, that's a critical. Oh,
Is that a messy critical?
yeah, that's a messy critical with 5 successes.
Ooh.
Both hunger dice came up as a 10. Oh wait, no! I misread it. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
You tease.
I did. It's 2 successes. Because I'm using percentile dice to separate the hunger dice.
Oh, gotcha.
So that's technically
makes sense.
that's a 1, not a 10.
Oh,
I like
okay.
that
The other one
idea.
is a 10. So
Okay.
I have 2 successes.
Okay.
It was very exciting for a moment.
I was ready to fucking rock and roll with that too. I had something. But okay. All right. So
Don't tease Pat like that. That's not
No.
nice.
Sorry. Look, it can be a messy critical if you want.
No, it's fine. No.
Look. It was a 10. Look at that.
See, we have fun here too. We do have fun here too. This isn't all serious business. We're playing fucking vampire. No, we have fun. No. So with 2 successes, you do need the beast to do this part, and you send the blood throughout your body to resolve yourself against the just hostile nature of the abyss itself. But you close your eyes, you bury your fangs, needles. We haven't fully gone into full detail regarding Nyx's teeth, but flayed
They're very
flesh.
sharp in moments like this.
But you crawl. You almost get comfortable to where you could almost get up and crouch walk. But you do finally get to the passageway. Oddly enough, this is another stairway. And it goes down further. The plaster of the shelf ceiling gives way to actual hard, gray, large chunks of worn river rock that have been laying in the wall to help hold up the earth. You get the sense that that there is something aware of your presence further on in. Something down here is sentient, if not fully sapient. It is hostile. And it knows you're coming. You don't know what, but you know that there's something very not nice waiting for you if you proceed further.
Is the glow of the fetter further down those steps?
Mm-hmm.
I guess we're going down then.
You're proceeding. Okay.
Oh,
Are you? I mean, are you, or do you want to double back? It's your call.
no, we're proceeding.
Okay.
Yeah. We've come this far.
Okay. You now can stand. You barely have the headroom. You barely have the clearance, but you can stand. And the lane stonework motif continues. And I'm not 100% familiar with the soil type down here in Louisiana. I'm assuming it's red clay like the rest of the South, but I don't know. Whatever color the dirt is in Louisiana around Shreveport, you get the sense that water has worn through. There is some mud that is starting to, kind of work its way, silt through the stonework. But up above you, there's heavy, old, rotten beams of wood laying over the stonework to help hold the earth up. Bare, worn dirt floor. The old remains of what might be beds and furniture are down here. This place is not as protected from the elements as the root cellar that you were previously in. But in this room, you actually see a wooden coffin. An old pine box with a heavy rock laying over the lid. There's still gaps, though, between the slats of wood making up the box, and the glow is coming from inside it. And we will pivot back over to Celia and Cherubina out in the garden. The two of you, I would like you to make wits and awareness rolls, please.
Where's my dice bag? I'm actually going to use Zoe's suggestion of using percentile dice for the hunger die.
It's a good idea.
It is, because I do not have magical Vampire the Masquerade die because they're expensive. Find the right color, though.
3 successes? Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have the Vampire Masquerade dice either. I just am a dice gremlin, so I have like 10 of one color and a bunch of randos.
Wits and awareness. So it's just wits.
Okay.
It's just wits. I don't. Well, no, wait. I have awareness. Never mind.
Okay.
Okay. I was concerned. I was like, I thought I put it in stuff for awareness. So. I got a failure on my, because I got a 10, which is a 1 on my hunger die.
Okay.
I got no successes. I'm dumb. Not dumb. I'm just.
That's a bestial failure. I would highly advise you spending a willpower.
I am spending a willpower.
Yes.
So I re-roll 3 of them minus my hunger.
Yeah, 3. Yeah, any failed normal dice. 3 failed normal dice. Yes. Is that did we not improve our situation? We did not improve our situation.
Oh, Cat. Are you all right?
I'm just making the face.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Hey, this is perfect.
Okay.
This is perfect. Okay, so Celia, you get the sense that, your group is, as we've previously discussed, is a well-oiled machine. You know that Nyx usually has checked in by now. Once again, time gets a little weird when you are having your spiritual communion, so to speak. But you get the sense that, enough time has passed that Nyx probably should have checked in. Now, Cherubina. You hear in your head not the voice of your sire, like you normally hear from your beast. You get you've never heard this voice before, but it is masculine and it is angry. What do you think you are doing in my house? You silly kindred fool. I warned your friend to get out and she didn't listen. So now it is time that you are shown the error of your ways. You feel your beast recoil in fear at this. And you feel the beast send blood throughout your body in a way to protect itself from something that it can't feel but know that it is the threat. And you get hungrier. You get 2 points hungrier. Because of the nature of the veil and what is out there. So where's your hunger currently at? You are now at 3.
I walk. I'm gonna guess that I'm standing behind Celia as she's doing the thing with Opal, and I essentially, at the moment that happens, I grab her shoulder very hard. I just squeeze it because I'm just like, I'm gonna do a strength thing. I can't do anything. I have strength. 1 strength. That's all I have.
Okay.
That was my dump stat.
And so
it's like I'm like pinching her as I'm grabbing her. I'm just like, and then to start shaking a little bit.
It's an involuntary response, maybe.
Yeah, it's a very involuntary response to that voice in my head.
With as threatened as your beast felt by the presence out there, your one instinct was to reach out for the only piece of safety that you have right now, and that is your sister.
Yes.
And Celia, you feel her fingers just bury themselves into your shoulder. This hurts. Not enough to cause damage, but this hurts.
Normally I don't do this, but I was like, I kind of say through gritted teeth, there's something wrong. Something very, very wrong.
As I said, Miss... She doesn't remember the character's name.
Opal?
Opal. Chapelwaith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do not believe you should return to the house this time. My sister has found something. And I do believe it would be best for you if you and your friend, Jared, left for the moment while we investigate.
I kind of look over at Jared and I'm just like nod like fast. I was like, yes, go.
And Jared...
I don't say anything, I just nod. I just like go, yes.
And Jared gets... He knows you're a vampire, and he all he sees right now is a scared, threatened vampire. And he knows that is not the place where he wants to be right now. Well, yes, of course.
Take her to a casino, take her to somewhere that is a lot of people to protect her. Or something. I know there's casinos in Louisiana.
Yes, there are lots. He looks down at Opal, who's looking up to him very, very fearfully. Oh, yes, I think that would be best. Yes, we need to go. Yes, right now.
We'll take care of the house stuff, but you need to go. And like, truthfully, normally Cherubina and Celia and Nyx are all like, we're gonna get some cash out of this, we're gonna swindle people. In this case, you gotta go now. This is totally opposite of what they normally do.
Yeah, this is shit got real. Not
And
the easy dime.
we're gonna help them get rid of this shit.
Yeah, no. And we were also sort of instructed by the family to try to get the fetter. And now it's kind of apparent why. But yeah, no, shit got real, and we need this lady out of the way to get things done.
Okay. All right. Quick on-screen vibe check. Is everyone good? Everyone's good. Everyone's fine. Okay. I go a little hard in the paint. I want to make sure that we're all situated before we proceed. Okay. So, Jared and Opal go to leave. You hear conversation between the two of them about needing to go in and get their things, but Jared immediately puts his foot down, and
I overhear them. I'm like, what do you need in the house? Let me go grab it.
Well, underwear and my denture cream to start.
Okay, I can go do that.
Okay, we'll be in the car waiting.
And I go, where's her room?
Oh, top of the stairs, third floor. It's the first door on the right.
Okay, I'm gonna just speed in.
Okay.
Speed walk. I can't do that.
All right, Celia, are you gonna follow along with her?
No, I'm heading hopefully towards where I think Nyx is, which is also where I saw Opal die, probably, in a not so distant future.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the little side quest and and run it back out and go find Celia and Nyx.
All right, Celia, I'm going to say that you don't have a hard time finding your way to the kitchen. All you have to do is smell the air.
She did that.
The kitchen is a festering pile of rot right now. Anything organic is mush.
Okay.
I'm going to have Cherubina. You get a 3 and out. You get a Dex and Athletics check to get up to the room.
Oh, Des is 2 dice.
This is all
2 successes.
You're right, and this is all hunger dice.
Oh, all hunger dice. Okay.
Yeah. Oops, all hunger.
Hang on. I have to roll another. Yeah, that doesn't matter. 2 successes, anyways. I got a 9 and a 10, 9 and a 6.
9 and a 6. You're good. Okay.
Yeah.
You are living dangerously right now.
Yeah, I don't have athletics. I have dexterity. That's it. So it's just 2.
Okay. The beast is kind of urging you on a little bit. The beast is, we'll say, firmly in. It's ready to jump into the driver's seat at any point in time. You are barely holding it back right now. But you get up to the 3rd floor in a timely manner, and you find the room. All right, so she specifically requested her a couple of pairs of underwear and her denture cream.
Yep, well, I know what denture cream looks like.
All right, so in order to find the appropriate items in a timely manner, I'm going to need you to do either a wits and awareness or intelligence and investigation. One of those two, whatever is higher.
Let's see, what's investigation? Wits is 3. And awareness is 2, so that's 5.
Yeah.
And then 5. Those B and A. So then 3 of those dice are hunger dice, and then
2 normal dice.
2 normal dice. Okay, hang on, let me get more. of this lovely hunger dust, and then to normal.
You're good.
Ooh.
And while you're doing this, you do at least get the sense that your wise mind is back in control, at least
3
for
successes.
now. And you get 3 successes. You know what? Yeah, you're able to, like you said, the bathroom, go to the vanity. There's the denture cream. And then, you go to, you start going through her drawer, her dresser, her armoire, whatever. As I noted before, she is trying to dress a few decades younger, and the aesthetic does continue on underneath the surface layer. I will leave that up to the imaginations thereof.
Why is she wearing stuff from the 90s?
Yep. But
Grunge is over. What the heck? So I pick it up and just run it down to the car and then go back to find. I mean, I can probably smell the rot in the house right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, give me a moment here. Okay. Now, you found your stuff. This was a 3 and out. I want you to give me a... I'm trying to think of an interesting tool for this. Give me a wit and subterfuge.
It's subterfuge. Do I have? Oh, I do have subterfuge. That is a 3. That's a 6 roll. So I'm gonna roll.
Yeah, wits and subterfuge. Yes, this is a good one. I like this.
3 successes.
3 successes. You get the sense that there's something. This whole thing stinks to high hell. There's something very, very not right about this whole setup. This was a setup, and you know it. You know it. Somewhere deep down, this was a setup from someone. You're not sure if it, how close they were in the family, or if this is coming from outside the family.
All I can say is it's that bitch.
But
they mentioned the mill nurse. So.
Yep. And so there's something with your group, your coterie, your sisters who've been with you for quite a few years now. You all are in grave danger.
Yeah. I'm gonna go find Celia and ask her to call her Maula.
Okay. You will do that.
Yep.
Okay. And we will go back down into the basement where Celia is joining Nyx. Celia.
I probably have the Maula on speed dial too, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, there are group Mala, I think.
But you specifically are the one who bring the dots to the table, though, Celia.
Yeah.
So you would, you provide that to the group to use. It all kind of has to route through you, though. Okay. Just like how Cherubina is in charge of maintaining the ghoul driver that you all have. The ghoul driver provides a communal service, but she is the one responsible for maintaining his blood every month.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I need a drink here.
Yeah.
Hydration check.
Yes, hydration. I'm out of hydration right now. I'm too enthralled.
Yes. As am I. So, so Celia, you are joining Nyx. You follow her path of destruction.
It's like, ugh.
Oh no! This is Celia Cherubina. You've been doing you've been doing your thing. You're still upstairs.
Yeah,
you're still upstairs doing your thing and making your way back down. While Celia catches up with Nyx. And Cherubina, we will bring you in a dramatically appropriate moment.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yes. So, Celia, you're standing there with Nyx. You haven't done anything with the veil yourself down here, but you know Nyx's handiwork. You feel her energy through the abyss, because the abyss is very palpable for you as well down here. It's not as hostile to you as it was to Nyx, because Nyx was the one who woke it up. But you do get the feeling that, yes, the abyss is very present here, and it is very angry.
The main root cellar or the room that I'm in with Nyx, does either of them look like the room where I saw Opal's death?
It is the room that Nyx is currently in.
So, like the sub basement.
You know what? Actually, Celia, why don't you give me a wits and awareness roll, please?
Three successes.
3 successes. Nyx didn't get a good look outside the house. You did. You were in what could very well be what served as a basement to the old part of the house that is no longer standing. But you see it as I presented it to Nyx. There is the casket. You do not see the glow of the fetter as she does. But you see the casket with the very large stone placed above the lid, and Nyx standing there in the dark. You smell the faint hint of vitae off of Nyx from all of the blood that she's had to bring to bear, both voluntarily and involuntarily, to get to this point.
Celia will hold Nyx's hand, mostly to comfort and try to calm her down a bit.
I think she gives a start because she was so focused in on this fetter that she didn't realize you were back there. Sister.
It's in there?
Yes. But there's something knows we are here, and it is not happy about it.
Oh, I think we're being conned. The house, I think, killed the 2 previous husbands through Opal. I do not believe Opal is aware of it. She has lost time and awareness multiple times. We've sent her and Jared out of the house for now so we can deal with this.
Good. That's good. And Nyx turns and looks back at the rock and says, there's really only one thing we can do.
And this is where Cherubina rejoins the group. Cherubina, you've made your way to the kitchen, following your nose, and you see Nyx's handiwork here. What might be going through Cherubina's head right now, seeing this?
Oh no.
And you know what, Cherubina? You're a grave robber, right?
Yeah, I am.
The smell of death is permeating this room, and what is your current hunger score? 3? 3? Give me a
3.
Give me a willpower check, please. Roll your unspent willpower.
Let's see. I had spent a willpower, so I gotta make a note. Spent 1 willpower.
Yes.
Okay. That's not using without hunger, right?
Without hunger. This is straight regular dice.
1 success.
Which is what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the blood and vitae from a corpse or your other normal feeding. Preferred vessels, so it's easy to resist the urge to get down and start eating whatever is here on the floor that was once food. But the voice of your sire is firmly back in your head now.
Old lady.
No, don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare.
I won't, Grandma.
Grazie. And you crawl through the old root cellar, or the we'll say the original, or the new root cellar, as described. And you see, you catch the very tail end of Nyx and Celia's conversation then.
About being conned?
Yes.
I was like, no, you're correct. You're being conned. This
You're
will
muted,
probably kill
Yo.
her. Oh.
Any idea by whom?
What?
Any idea who's conning us?
Either somebody outside in the family that doesn't like us for whatever reason, or someone from not in the clan itself.
Storyteller, who specifically told us about the fetter?
The fetter would have specifically come in from your mala. He was the one who gave you the tip. Now, all that your mala was able to really ascertain is that there's a fetter here that the family would very much be interested in getting their hands on. He had reason to believe that there are multiple interested parties that want to get their hands on this within the family. But it's best that the fetter is handled the proper way and sent back to whatever is qualified as the regional repository for fetters until the family can find a place to use it, or find a use for it, I should say. So the family knows the fetters here. They want it badly, and it's imperative that the coterie get their hands on it if they can.
Can you text your mala?
Yeah,
see what it actually is.
Well, I want to text him, and what I'm going to text him is, "Are you trying to screw me over?"
Intelligence and technology, please.
Don't text him that.
Not my best roll. Oh, right. Do I have reception? Please.
Probably.
3 successes.
You think that you probably would have reception. Yes, you're in a basement, but it's not a deep basement, and it's made out of natural material. That being said, you are about as close to swimming in the Shadowlands physically as you possibly could get right now. And your phone, it's not broken, but it is definitely not going to function while you are down here, and whatever is currently going on is still going on.
Well, I can talk to him, or I can stay here and we can figure out what we're going to do.
This is not a... I thought the fetter would have been smaller instead of a coffin-sized with a rock on top of it.
I think it's in the coffin.
Yes, I'm not taking this out of the coffin, especially what I heard earlier that wants us to leave now.
Oh, yes, the planchette was saying get out, kill them, over and over.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll be able to get the coffin out of here.
Well, Celia lets go of Nyx's hand and walks over to examine the stone.
Okay. The stone seems to come from, this would be natural to the region. Nothing is, we'll say, untoward, physically, mundanely about the rock. That's not to say that there might not be something else going on with it that would require a closer examination. But the rock itself, it's large. You would estimate it probably weighs close to, 200 pounds, maybe 175, just enough to pose a problem for someone inside wanting to get out, maybe. But not enough to, they didn't want to, possibly structurally damage the coffin. If you're wanting to take a closer look at the rock itself supernaturally, I am open to whatever methods the entire coterie wishes to use at their disposal.
I'm not going to be able to lift that rock off. I don't want to roll it off either because there's something in there that is more terrifying for me and probably something my great-grandma would take care of faster than I could.
My best bet is sense the unseen. But I
don't even know if I dropped that. I think I still have that on.
It's passive, but if you're wanting to, we'll say, if you want to more closely examine and get a better read on it, yes. So in this case, either of the roles as presented for Sense the Unseen in the book, whichever one is your highest. And anyone wishing to employ this ability may make this roll.
Wits plus aspects.
Yep.
Okay, and I have to remember to put in my 3 hunger. But I'm going to...
So I actually only have 3 dice because I still have the binding fetter going.
Okay. Sentient. Critical success. No, wait, not critical. I got 2 10s and then 2 6s.
Okay, so out of the 10s, are any of those on your hunger dice?
Yeah, one of them's on my hunger.
You have a messy critical. This is fine. This is fine.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Yep. And okay, so Celia got 3, Nyx got 1, and Cherubina got how many total with the crit? So that's 4.
I got 2 6s, and 2. Those are on my hunger die. I got a 10 on a hunger die, and then another 10.
Okay, so 4, 5, 6. 6 on a messy crit.
Yep. This is the night of me making messy, either bestial failures or messy crits.
They make for good narrative moments, though, especially in times like this.
Yep.
These high tension moments. This is great shit. I love it. So, okay, let's see here.
What was I gonna do? I did have an idea on something too, but we'll see where this goes.
Yes. So Nyx, you're still focused on the fetter and what it might be, and you know for a fact that it's whatever it is, it's inside the coffin. And otherwise, though, you have a hard time extending your spiritual senses beyond the ambient abyss that's currently just clinging around here. So that was Nyx. Celia with 3 successes. The veins are coming from this room. The veins are coming from inside this coffin. The veins are coming from every single possible crack, no matter how minuscule that's with the wood here of this casket. The veins are coming out, and they start off as thin as they need to be, and as soon as they expand outward, that's when they seem to get healthier and more vibrant. Cherubina, you finally see the threads and the veins that Celia has been seeing this whole time. And if your beast feared what was going on earlier, it is absolutely stricken with fear now, as it takes in everything going on. Make a willpower roll, please, to avoid a fear frenzy.
For 4 successes.
Fucking crushed it.
I essentially got 2 10s and an 8, and then a 6, and then a 2. So
2 10s and 8. Okay, so you don't score crit. Can you score crits on willpower? I can't. I've never actually had this pop up. I think you can. You know what? Fuck it. We'll say you can. We'll call that a blind spot in my noggin, and I don't want to have to waste time referring to the rule book. So yeah, you know what? Fuck it. You got a crit. Congratulations. All right, so Cherubina. You hear what starts off as the voice of your sire. Just get it away from me right now, stop it! And it just devolves into this wild shriek. But you clamp down and you shut her voice up. You bare your fangs and they bite into your mouth as well, but you hold firm. Celia and Nyx, you feel your sister barely hanging on. She's keeping it under control right now, but you know when her beast is ready to come out, and it's getting very, very close.
What is the thing that we see?
But you see the same veins that Celia does. Now you can see it.
Would this be a wraith?
Maybe. You know what? I'm gonna be. You know what? Why don't you all take a moment in character to discuss this? Okay.
It is malignant.
Yes.
And it's there, and it's what's been doing everything.
Would this be? We've come across these before. Do you think this is a race?
Intelligence and occult. Anyone wanting to finally take a guess? Nyx, we'll say that you've had this adequately described to you now. You still can't see it yet, but you know what they're talking about enough to be able to participate in the conversation, to be able to, you know what's going on.
Okay.
6. I got crits.
1 success.
1 success.
I got a 6.
Okay.
And then on my hunger die, I got a 10 and a 6.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay,
you're fine.
Good.
You're good. Yeah, so 3 successes for Cherubina. Nyx. Yeah, it's a wraith. Cherubina. Yeah, it's a wraith. Definitely a specter of some kind. Not good. Celia.
Hey, I'm really hungry. Guess what?
Oh yeah, you have. Oh yeah, which one of you? Do one of you have Passion
I
feast.
think our lovely Giovanni does.
Yeah. Celia, and you're critical. This is a specter. And not just any specter. This is the specter of a vampire who becomes a wraith. This is very not good. And you all have no fucking business being here right now as you are.
Sisters,
Yes.
this is over our heads.
Okay.
A wraith?
I believe this is the wraith of a vampire, a fellow kindred.
That's not good.
Oh.
No,
No.
either someone in our family did not know this, or we've been screwed.
Nyx looks at Cherry and says, do you think Deborah Milliner set us up?
Probably.
We should get out of here.
I agree.
I don't think that that's going to be an option for you anymore.
Oh, look, it's Opal.
Yes, it is Opal.
Ugh, I thought I told you to keep her out of the house. You killed Jared, didn't you? Oh, you're evil.
And you actually do see Opal standing much straighter and maybe her dressing younger might have not been an affectation, as you see her now appear to be a couple of decades younger.
Oh.
And she's dragging Jared's body along with her. And you see several holes in her chest. And Opal, in one hand, is dragging Jared's body, and in the other, she's holding what appears to be a rudimentary wooden stake.
Oh.
But you see this silly little skin bag didn't know what I was. And Celia, you see a vein clearly wrapped around her throat. And it is very firmly snaking back towards the casket, which Nyx, that glowing white light from the fetter, is now an angry, malevolent red.
Okay.
So, it appears, my dear vampires, are you calling yourselves kindred? Vampires? Canites? I don't know what the nomenclature is right now.
You're Hakata.
The PC term is kindred. We more specifically are Hakata.
The Hakata. I've heard things about this.
Do you know who the Giovanni are?
Of course I know who the Giovanni are.
Do you know who the Samadi are?
Yes, and she looks at Celia.
Do you know who the Nagaraha are?
And she looks at Nyx. Of course. Look, I think, we're all family in a way. We could dispense with the we'll say the blatant hostility. And she lets go of Jared's body, and she just kind of tosses the stake nonchalantly off into the darkness. And she's bearing herself with a more masculine gait now. And you're starting to hear an older male voice maybe start to creep in underneath her own. And the fact that she is physically younger now is just, it's mind-boggling. Yeah, this is something that, this is new for all three of you. I mean, we are all family. This was, I don't know if you all were sent as an insurance policy or what exactly this is, but I think for now we can talk. At least before I decide if I'm going to kill you or not.
Well, I don't think there's much we could do to stop you, to be honest.
There's not.
No.
Go ahead and talk.
I propose the following. You let whoever in the family know that sent you here to look for me that I have faded away. Let them know that oblivion shredded what I was, and the darkness that awaits us all has taken me.
Who are you?
My name is Carter Milliner.
Oh.
Well, if it helps, a Milner sent us to look for you, perhaps?
Well, any of the Milliners that are alive and kicking or undead and kicking right now would not be familiar with me or I them.
Coincidence.
But there's a reason why Augustus chose the family. And it wasn't just money. There are some of us who, in the past, even before the Giovanni thought to come here to the New World, had already made some inroads into the lands of the dead. I just so happened to be one of them. And one thing led to another. I was embraced into the family before Augustus put his eye on us. I died. Again. And now I'm here, parlaying with the three of you.
You have my sympathies. I'm sure there's something you would rather be doing than talking to us. Do you really think it's best done here? Would you not consider allowing us to take you somewhere where you might be able to conduct your own business a little bit? As you have said, you are family. Perhaps we can help you.
You all standing there see Opal close her eyes.
Opal.
Opal close her eyes, and you all don't so much as hear the rip in the veil as feel the rip in the veil. And you don't see it. Even with any sentience or any other way to to supernaturally see what you cannot see. You can't see it because how can you see nothingness? Really, you can't. You feel it, and you hear it, or what might be living in the nothingness, and the shrieking of what could be untold, tortured specters howling away in the maelstrom out there in the Wraithlands, feeding the abyss, feeding oblivion. And whatever this is can just reach out effortlessly and open up this kind of a tear in the veil at will. And then she opens her eyes. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm going to try it.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Thank you. I'm going to try it.
Let me look this up. I need to refer. Okay.
Let's see. It's resolve and oblivion versus resolve and composure.
Mm-hmm. I need to look up the mechanics of this. Okay. I just for my own edification. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Out of curiosity, Pat, are you using the old school wraith for your vampiric wraith, or like? I will say I'm using about as close to an OG Spectre as you can, and still be able to do what I want to do with it mechanically. Cool. This is very much, I'm taking the concept of a vampire Spectre, and I'm doing things with it. Good luck, Cherry.
Thanks. I will try it.
All right.
I'd have to stake me, but that's okay.
Okay, so this is resolve plus oblivion plus resolve and composure.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Spectre. Those things are very minimal.
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so a vampire with this power can drain a wraith of their passion. While in close proximity, 3 yards or meters or closer to the wraith, which you are, they may roll a contest of resolve and oblivion versus the wraith's resolve and composure. A win for the vampire inflicts 1 aggravated willpower damage to the wraith and reduces the vampire's hunger by 1 for the remainder of the night. That hunger returns on the following night, etc., etc. All right, the storyteller determines the number of passions a wraith possesses, though 5 or more is rare. This is a rare Spectre. And may deem that the wraith becomes an uncontrollable murderous Spectre, which it already is, once all passions have been consumed. Okay. Alright, resolve and oblivion versus resolve and composure.
Yep. I might have to roll willpower on this.
Okay. Please take into account your current hunger level when you roll this.
Yep, I'm doing that right now. No successes, but it's not a failure. It's a failure, but not like a bistro failure. So I'm going to roll a willpower.
Very advisable.
Nope. Spent. 2. No successes. I tried. It's hard. I looked at them and nothing. Nothing happened.
So as Mr. Milliner is continuing his monologue via Opal's body, Cherubina, you bare your fangs and you subtly hiss to coax the wraith.
And then nothing.
And you try to feed, try to draw upon its energy, and then Opal looks at you. and everyone here can get a flash of the thing that's actually there. You get the sense of an older, heavier set, Caucasian male, balding, scraggly, unkempt beard. But his features are a sick and twisted caricature of what he would have looked like in his mortal days, and his eyes are wild, red, angry, glowing, fierce. Really?
Yeah. You said you were gonna kill us, so might as well try to take you out in the process.
And Celia and Nyx, you get the feeling of what your sister has just tried to do.
I am so sorry about that. Maybe we should just leave now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nyx like holds on to Cherry, like pulling her back.
I'm just like,
She's very hungry. You know how it is when you are very hungry. Sometimes you cannot control yourself, right, Cherubina?
I'm really hungry. I need
We are
something.
just going to go, and we are going to tell them that you are not here, that you have faded away, so nobody ever comes looking for you again.
She narrows her eyes at Cherubina. Then her features become a little softer, and you hear more of her voice now instead of the specter inhabiting her body. But she actually walks up to you just a couple of steps, or walk towards you, Cherubina, just a couple of steps, and she lifts up the sleeve of her evening gown or evening dress and offers you her wrist, Cherry. Well, if you're hungry, why didn't you say so? I mean, this is how things are still done, yes? Offer your guests a bite to eat. Tell me that this habit hasn't gone away amongst our kind.
Hospitality is still respected. However, I do think we should take our leave before we encroach on yours overmuch.
And she's ignoring whatever the two of you might offer, and she's staring at Cherry. I insist.
This is going to hurt her and kick you out.
Are we sure of that?
Probably. I'm gonna bite her.
All right, so you see Cherry reach out and grab the offered wrist. How much of a choice Cherry actually has in the matter remains to be seen.
Probably nothing.
Yeah, this is a catch-22.
Yep.
Most definitely. There was no way that you were going to get out of this without this, one way or the other, Cherry. So, Cherry, you sink your fangs in. There's Vitae here, but it's cold.
Oh, good thing I have iron gullet.
Well, you're a grave robber.
Yep.
This is dead blood that you're drinking off of.
Oh, she's dead. That's fun.
This is dead blood that you're drinking off of, Cherry.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
She's
dead already.
Yep.
She's been dead already? Wow.
You get the faint hint of there's something alive in here still, though. This isn't all dead blood. There's still something alive and kicking in here.
Yep.
It doesn't belong here, though. This tastes foreign to you.
Yeah.
You can take yourself down to Hunger 1 if you wish, and not
Sure.
and not imperil the vessel.
Yep. I'll take that down.
Celia, Nyx, Cherry, whatever you might have been expecting from Opal when Cherry sinks her fangs into the physical reaction that one normally has to the kiss of the Hekata doesn't happen. She stands there stoically as Cherry drinks her fill.
That's disconcerting.
Yes,
A little
it
bit.
is.
And now what are we going to tell the family?
That you have faded away
Mm-hmm.
and are not to be found. Because you can't be found, because you're not here.
Yep.
And one last thing to pass on to the family, if you would, please.
Mm-hmm.
If you could let them know that Augustus screamed like a stuck pig when he died, it would be appreciated.
That's good to know. I didn't meet the man.
Okay.
And this is where we will end our first little adventure with Psychopomps Incorporated. We're trying to take our stories in chunks. This is very much the next episode is going to pick up in their next location, with a little bit of filler material in between that will be touched upon. But yes, this is how things have concluded with the Chapelwaiths. And I'm going to let our ladies say goodnight, starting once again with Rosie.
Hi, I am Rosie, regular size mom. You can find me on Twitter at mom_size. And you can find me over on Vocal Tales on Thursdays and Sunday evenings. We're starting Pathfinder on Thursdays, and Sundays are Cult. And after Cult, which will probably run about 10 weeks, I suppose, we're moving on to Wraith. So, woo! Dovetails.
Mm-hmm.
And also keep an eye on Carrying Comfort Studios. Not sure when this is airing, but I will be running a Bluebeard's Bride in the Dark Carnival setting over there on October 6th. And I will be in the Cyberpunk game that's starting over there on October 23rd. That's going to be a few episodes. And you can find me here doing this and other things because these people are cool. So have a good night.
Next up, Kat.
I am Kat. I played Terabina, where I did interesting roles tonight. You can find me as Dead and Glow on most social medias: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I don't think I have anything that I can announce yet for things coming up. I'll be at Gamehole Con in October. That's about all I can say.
That works.
Which is in Madison, Wisconsin. So,
not the home of Gary Gygax.
no, that's in Lake Geneva. That's where Gary Con is.
And finally, Zoe.
Hi, I'm Zoe. I was Nyx the Nagaraja. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Twilight43. You can also find me over on Carrying Comfort Studios, just in general, but also the Cyberpunk Red game, Displaced and Disorderly, starting on October 23rd at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, running every other Saturday. It's going to be great. And also keep an eye out on Carrying Comfort around Halloween for surprises that I don't think I can quite talk about yet, but it's coming. Depending on when this airs, it might already be announced.
This will definitely be airing before the Cyberpunk game starts.
Perfect.
Oh, cool. Good to know.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you guys, whoever's watching, enjoy fun vampire things and you liked watching Zoe, then you should check out the game I ran on Gehenna Gaming called Fangs in Space. It's on YouTube. Zoe's awesome. Everyone is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm Patrick Gill, the creative director here at Martlet Games. This lovely, lovely group that you see before you is just an amazing group of players. I thoroughly enjoy emotionally just having some fun. I can tell that I'm doing my job as an effective storyteller, and that makes me happy. But if you like seeing all three here on screen, they are also going to be appearing in some way, shape, or form separately in my 10 Candles anthology series, Terminal Black. Yeah, this is... I'm look, it's this was the product of we'll say one of the most epic shower thought sessions that I've ever had, and I put together the 10 Candles thing in like over the span of like 2 days.
I like shower thoughts.
That's what you see on the screen here. This was all improv. I had a few things in my head that I had lined up that I wanted to do. It was up to them. That's what you're going to see in all of the 10 Candles stuff. The power of the imagination. Otherwise, you can see me as Harley on Vancouver Adjacent, which is airing Saturdays all over the place right now. I think we're at 3 p.m. Central. I don't know. We're in a, time change. Otherwise... keep an eye on the socials. Tons of projects coming out this month, starting production this month. I love you. It's late. Check out the links in the chats. Good night.